Welcome to the American Dream Selling Cincinnati. Today we're going to show you all around town, sharing real estate, lifestyle, and culture, and everything that this incredible city and the surrounding tri-state area has to offer. You're going to hear from award-winning real estate professionals. This is a real show, not a reality show. I'm your host, Ryan Kiefer. Welcome to the American Dream Selling Cincinnati.
Hi, I'm your host, Whitney Jolly-LaRoe, and today we're going to be exploring the sweet city of Fort Thomas. This is my team member, Lisa Kortz.
Let's go check out Fort Thomas Coffee. I'm here with Christine Smalley. She and her husband own Fort Thomas Coffee. So I know you recently just moved into this fantastic new location.
Thanks, yeah.
Can you tell us about your vision for the shop and how you're gonna reach out to the community?
Absolutely. So we moved from across the street to expand the coffee shop to better support community. We looked at what this town did really well, and we thought of ways to make that even better over here. So we added a kids zone, a really cute place for kids to play. We have a business center where folks can get their copies printed, use office supplies, and rent conference rooms. And we added spaces for business folks to work alone while being in community. And we offered a space for students after school to come and hang out. And we have a wine and cocktail bar, because that's another way people connect and gather, not just around coffee, but around cocktails too.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah,
thank you so much for spending the morning with us and letting us enjoy some wonderful coffee with you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'm here with Mark Collier, the COO of Link and KY. So Mark, you have been like a lifelong resident of Fort Thomas, and you're really an enthusiast of Fort Thomas, I would say, right?
I love it here. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So we're today here at this beautiful home in the park, in Tower Park. It's a beautiful historical property. All of the homes around it are amazing. But tell us what you know about the park and how did it get its name?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting and exciting to be in this specific house, but Tower Park is really, really historic in nature. It was here and put here and constructed here by the federal government in the late 1800s. It actually served as a mobilization point for the American troops during the Spanish-American War. And so a lot of the structures that are here in the historic park are still here today. The historic water tower, 102-foot tall stone tower that was used to kind of peer out and see where things were at in our community. The mess hall is still in use today as a community center. The armory, where the troops used to actually play basketball and run around a little bit, that is in use today as well. So the homes that we are in today, also really, really historic.
Yeah, I think these homes were built in like 1888, is that correct?
Yeah, 1888, where we are right here in the Colonel's home, the crown jewel of the officer homes of Tower Park. So where we are right now, all of the higher level Army officers and sergeants and all those kinds of things would stay here. And this house is incredible. It was redone pretty recently, and the residents here have always wanted to see it sort of restored to glory, and gosh, it looks great now.
Pulling in, I thought I saw like an amphitheater. Is that something you guys host a lot of events at?
Yeah, it's really great. So you kind of pull down, it's this historic place where there's a lot of old history and buildings, and we host a lot of regional events here. Specifically in September, every year we have a big music day, a big act, and have close to hundreds of thousands of people that cram into Fort Thomas, and the amphitheater is used as the main focal point of that music day.
Yeah, that's really incredible. I thought I also noticed that there were some cannons in the front of the park. Tell me a little bit about the history of those.
So the cannons are sitting right next to the main water tower. You can't miss it. It's 102 feet tall. The cannons there were actually stolen from Havana Harbor in the late 1800s during the Spanish-American War. And it was sort of the American troops spiking the football a little bit to say, we're gonna take your cannons, and they are there, right there in Fort Thomas, Kentucky to this day.
Wow, that's incredible. I really appreciate all of your knowledge and the history for this town and your time especially. So thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of The American Dream. I hope that you have fallen in love with Fort Thomas as much as I have.
More than half of homes here have one, and for many, it was love at first bark. Hi, I'm Meg Perez, host of American Dream TV's Selling Cincinnati. And in the Queen City, my hometown, we love our dogs and their big business. We're on the east side, heading into a pet care facility where they treat your dogs not just like family, but royalty. So excited to show you. Come on. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Lots of pet owners think that dog daycare is not affordable, but it really is.
Yes, it is.
And it's super popular.
Yes.
So what does a typical day here look like?
First, we love to spoil all of our furry friends here at Red Dog. We provide a safe place for your dog to truly just be a dog. With all the fun services that we offer here, we see a little over a couple thousand dogs in our resort.
Wow, that is incredible. Can we take a look around?
Let's go.
Oh, awesome.
So Meg, these are our theme suites. We have 44 of them. They come flat screen TV, webcams, special little friends. They are in multiple sizes and styles. I will take you on down to our more traditional dorm rooms is what we would call these. So these are the more traditional dorms. They do come in 2 different sizes. We have them in 4x6s, 6x8, so kind of different sized dogs that you might have. They also come with a patio. Remember, we have so many different services here that parents are able to add on to make them be able to come out of their room, have a good time, play with other dogs, possibly if they're in daycare, or just one-on-one with a staff member.
Okay, like grooming.
Yeah, grooming, absolutely. A lot of them do want grooming before they leave.
So Shannon, you have a small and a large dog daycare.
Yes, and this is where we would have all of our large dogs.
These are the big dogs.
Yes, a sea of dogs daily.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, who let the dogs out? I love it. Hey, hi guys. So Shannon, there's some really unique features to Red Dog.
Yes, we are 24/7 care at all times. We do have a heated swimming pool that is a one-on-one swim session with a swim instructor. Yeah. And we have a 3-acre dog park. Oh, wow. Secured access, membership only, and it's only $150 a year.
So who is the mastermind behind this Dogopolis? Meet Ray Schneider. He's owner and founder of Circle Development, who built Red Dog Resorts. And Ray, you also built a lifestyle community, the Red Apartment Community, around Red Dog.
Well, let's go see it and I'll show you all around.
Awesome. So what is this room, Ray?
So this is our community area. We have a place to read and quiet. You can have parties down here. We have a full game room from cards, billiards. We have a large Scrabble set. So people come down here to commingle and be part of the activities that you don't normally have in your apartment. So let me show you our model. So this model is a 2-bedroom, but very similar to our Studio 1 and 2 bedrooms. We've got a kitchen that has several cabinetry that I looked at from German hardware. And then I'd like to show you the courtyard where we have a lot of our amenities. Our Red Dogs have expanded out to Springdale and Mason.
So that's a lifestyle community as well.
Yes, and we're right next to our pet resort, so we'll be able to provide all the services.
Awesome.
So that's great. Thank you.
Right. So dog lover or not, whether you're saving to buy your first home, downsizing, or you just want to take a year off from house hunting, you might want to consider your next move to a lifestyle community like Red. I'm Meg Perez, off to find the next American dream or dreamer. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Megan Stacy, your host for American Dream TV, Selling Cincinnati. We're here in Home Sweet Oakley, looking forward to showing you around some of our favorite businesses. We're gonna head to Zephyr Blowout Salon. Ellie, tell us a little bit about your business and what we're doing here.
So we are full service. We do extensions, keratin treatments, blowouts, your favorite, and hair color. Anything you need, we can do it for you. And we love to be here for our clients.
I love coming here for my weekly blowouts and for my extension adjustments. It's awesome just to get to know all the customers and how much everyone enjoys getting their hair done here.
It's always a girl time. We're chatting. We're, what's going on in everybody's lives. We love our clients and we love having you here.
This is where the real estate scoop happens. This is where I find out about everything that's going on in the area.
It's here. It's the epicenter.
What do you like about having your salon here in Oakley?
I love being on Oakley Square. There is always something going on, and we are close to the highways, we're close to Hyde Park, we're close to Mount Lookout, we're close to all the apartments at the end of Madison. We are truly in the middle of everything, and there's nothing you can't do here.
Elaine, tell me more about why did you select Oakley for your Cincinnati location?
Yeah, so that was a great question. So when I moved here to Cincinnati, I knew I wanted to become involved in the city and kind of find my own place here. My husband is from here. I find like that's kind of a typical Cincinnati story is
definitely
people are from here, they move back to have their families or to raise their families. So I love just kind of the urbanness, the walkability, the kind of close together houses and really close-knit neighborhood of Oakley, and it's also just like really designy, really kind of funky. There's a lot going on here. There's so many interior design stores and interior designers in general. I don't know, I think that that's something that maybe not all the public knows about, but I feel like there's a really design heart to Oakley.
Agree. If someone were visiting Oakley for the day, besides coming here, of course, and getting forever linked, what would you tell them to do?
There is a really great record store right around the street, Tariq Records, and it's just like stepping back to 1998. It's hilarious. And right next to that is Oakley Wines, which they have great pastas, great wine.
They have great cheese.
Great cheese, just fun to walk around that little area.
Yes.
Of course, King Arthur's Court is awesome, a big, huge toy store, and there's a couple other little boutiques right next to them.
Tell us a little bit more about the jewelry here.
Yeah, so we design and make all of our jewelry in Metro Detroit. We have an all-women team of jewelers, so I collaborate with my designers who are in Detroit. That's where all of our studios are. So I like to say that we do everything from hoop earrings to engagement rings. So
wow, that's quite the variety.
It is. I mean, we are metalsmiths. So something like these earrings are in vermeil, which is gold-plated over silver, down to custom engagement rings or custom redesigns. And everything in between. We also like to put a lot of energy into how we source stones and what metals we use and what contractors we use. So we do a lot of Montana sapphires, salt and pepper diamonds, and just try to, we put a lot of thought and energy into everything that we do.
It really shows. Thanks for joining us today in Oakley. I'm Megan Stacy. We can't wait to see you next time on American Dream. Hi, I'm Megan Stacy, your host for the American Dream TV. We're here downtown Cincinnati, overlooking the Ohio River and northern Kentucky. We're home to the Cincinnati Bengals. Can we get a hooday? The Reds. And we're looking forward to showing you around downtown today. We're gonna meet one of our favorite chefs, Chef David Falk with the Boca Group. We're here at one of Cincinnati's finest restaurants with Chef David Falk. You're a home sweet Cincinnatian. Tell us a little about your career here as a chef.
Yeah, so originally from Cincinnati, was kind of a horrible student. But when my older brothers started working in a restaurant, I started when I was 15, walked in one day, fell in love with the business. And pretty much I was very lucky. Like by the time I was like 16 or 17, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And I knew that I was going to go to one of the top culinary schools in the world. I was going to work for one of the top Italian chefs, one of the top American chefs, one of the top French chefs. And I knew I wanted to work in Europe. And so kind of as my education was, coming to an end, if you will, I just kept thinking about coming back to Cincinnati. Came back in 2001, opened up Boca in 2001, little tiny restaurant. 13 employees, and then I was very blessed. The city kind of, rooted me on. We had an opportunity next door to open up a restaurant or take over a restaurant. We did our first Mexican concept called Nada. And then honestly, I was pretty happy. We had Boca and Oakley and Nada. And, but then I got the itch. I was like, well, maybe I should do another restaurant. So I called one of the developers in town and I said, hey, do you have any other locations? And they said, how about next door? And I literally, for a second, I was like, next door, what do you mean? And he literally had to say it out loud. He said, the Masonette. And for those people who don't know, the Masonette in Cincinnati was really the crown jewel of our city forever. So to have the opportunity to come take this over was an unbelievable honor. So yeah, we spent about 3.5 to 4 years on this building, 2 restaurants, Boca up here, and then we did an Italian trattoria downstairs called Sotto. I had the opportunity to kind of take it on and get after it.
One of my personal favorite dishes here would be your Brussels sprout dish. Tell us a little bit about that, the history of it, and any other recommendations you might have.
Sure. So I jokingly say, when you look around this restaurant, the chandelier and everything, that this is the house that Brussels sprouts built. Now, for you young whippersnappers out there that, Brussels sprouts are everywhere. This dish was created in 1998, like long before most of you were born.
Before hashtag Brussels sprouts?
Before there were hashtags.
What?
But there was a time before hashtags? No,
Okay.
They are confit basically in brown butter, then caramelized. We top it with a scallop, brown butter truffle vinaigrette, and Chez Parmigiano Reggiano. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's been around for however many years that is. I can't do math, but well over 20 plus years.
So someone is visiting downtown Cincinnati for the day. What would you tell them to do?
I would start in Over the Run. I go to my friend's Sacred Beast, go there and have brunch. And they're right next to Washington Park. Go hang out at the park, you see Music Hall. And if it's nice outside, then, selfish, shameless plug, but I would go to the patio at Nada and have a margarita. And then maybe catch a show at the Airnoff. And then honestly, I would sneak into our little basement location where I say the Italian vampires like to go. Sotto, our Italian trattoria, and then maybe pop up for Boca for some dessert.
Chef, cheers to you. Thanks for having us. Here's to your American dream.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for checking out Cincinnati with us today. I'm Megan Stacy, your host for American Dream TV. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the historic village of Georgetown, the county seat, home to the Little State Fair, and the site of the boyhood home of a U.S. General, 2-time U.S. President, and the man on the $50 bill, Ulysses S. Grant. I'm your host, Reagan McKinney, for American Dream TV. Hi, today I'm here with Ned Lodwick. Thank you for joining us. Tell me a little bit about what your title is and what you do here.
I am the Vice President of the U.S. Grant Homestead Association. We celebrate the life and legacy of Ulysses S. Grant through preservation and education.
A big part of who we become is where we come from. So if you could just tell me a little bit about how his childhood really made him, who he was as an adult.
Ulysses was a small boy. He didn't speak very much. He was very quiet, took after his mother. But when he spoke with authority. By the time he was 8 years old, he was running his own Teamsters wagon. And he hauled from Higginsport to Georgetown to Ripley, down to Maysville, and even to Cincinnati.
Wow.
He didn't think the way other people thought. He could see solutions and would never quit until he had that done.
Amazing. So we just had a big celebration here in Brown County. Tell us a little bit about what that was about.
We had the 200th birthday of Ulysses S. Grant last spring. Of course, lived here longer than anywhere else in the United States. So we thought that this would be a good place for him to have the biggest celebration. As it turned out, we did. We had 9 events, one a month from April through October. Finally, after several tries, he was promoted to General of the Armies. George Washington was given that right after the Revolutionary War, and now Ulysses S. Grant was given that.
An honor, and right here in Brown County.
We have 2 new murals celebrating Ulysses, and we have 2 statues. Georgetown, Ohio, and Washington, D.C. are the only 2 places in the world where you can find 2 full-size statues of Ulysses S. Grant.
Amazing.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there's a lot more to this historic village besides the murals, the statues, and the boyhood home. There's this amazing staple right here in the heart of it. It's a part of who we are as a community. And today I'm meeting with Sue McKinley, who's a representative for this fine establishment, Parker's Pizza. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Tell me a little bit about Parker's and a little bit about the history and what it means to Georgetown.
Glad to. So Parker's was established in 1963. So this is our 60th year.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. It started over on Apple Street behind the courthouse, and then moved over to its current location. However, it was much, much smaller. In 2015, Wade and Lori Highlander purchased it, and they immediately began renovations on the kitchen and the dining room area and so on and so forth, and then built the additional dining room.
And I know Wade and Lori has not just done big things with the actual building, but they're really big supporters of the community.
They are, and we are so appreciative. Yeah, Wade and Lori have reinvested in this community. You know, it's one of those things that's so nice about Georgetown, Ohio. People come back home, or they stay here.
So obviously, we have this beautiful new building that's been renovated, but it wouldn't be a community staple if they didn't have delicious food. So what is the most popular dish you can't leave without trying it?
Okay, so if you're coming back from college for the first time, why, you have to have the steak stromboli or the pizza. Although the wings are becoming very popular.
Okay.
They have a diverse menu.
Thank you so much for joining us. You know, thanks to Wade and Lori for allowing us to come and see their beautiful building and being such a big community supporter. You know, Georgetown's not just about, like I said, the historic figures that we have and the murals, the little safe air, but it's really about community. From the 18th President of the United States, the man on the $50 bill, to all of the history that Georgetown brings, there's so much in between, from these beautiful historic homes, the Little State Fair, small shops, Parker's Pizza, but most importantly, a sense of community. Thank you for joining us. I'm Reagan McKinney for American Dream TV. Today, we're in a small rural community just 30 miles east of Cincinnati. And while they may have small roots, they're doing big things, and I can't wait to tell you about it. I'm your host, Reagan McKinney for American Dream TV. Today, we get to visit this really cool brewery and all that it has to offer, as well as talk to the Village Economic Development Liaison, Darren Snyder, about the growth of Mount Orab and its surrounding areas. We've seen a lot of growth around the area, including businesses like this one. What do you contribute to that growth?
I think a lot of the growth has to do with just that entrepreneurial revolution that I feel has been going on for a few years now. I think during COVID, it kept people really kind of reevaluated their situations, not so sure they wanted the corporate world anymore, but also maybe wanted a little more of a connection to their community. And they found that there's a lot of supports and services that a community can offer, and there's a void. So I think this is an opportunity for these entrepreneurs to build a new business, work in their hometown, get out of the seat of the car that they spent 2 hours driving to Cincinnati for, and ultimately, have a great life and maybe even build a business for generations to come.
So there are lots of new developments coming here. Some have already opened, some haven't yet. What are some of the new businesses that we have here in the community?
Sure. So recently, last Friday, Papa John's opened a new facility here in town, which is fantastic. We also have a new development on the east side of town, D.R. Horton, which is one of the largest national builders, and they have developed a new community, going to be 110 new construction homes.
That's a lot.
We have Adams County Regional Medical Center, which has been a part of Brown County for a little while, but they just recently opened an urgent care in Mount Orab, which is wonderful because anytime we can add health services in our community, it's fantastic. It's a win-win for everyone.
So it seems whether you're in, the industry, commercial, residential, Mount Orb's kind of the place to be.
I would agree.
Okay. Thanks, Darren.
I appreciate it.
Now that we've heard all about the new developments in the area, we're going to talk to business owners that are already here and thriving. John and Dave Caraway with Sons of Toil Brewing and how they're living their American dream. What a cool space. Tell us a little bit about the history of Sons of Toil.
Wow, the history of Sons of Toil, that goes all the way back from when I was a little kid. I remember me and my dad, he was having me cap bottles when I was like 7 years old. Fast forward to college, good beer was really expensive. I couldn't afford it, broke college kid like everybody else. So I kind of discovered the brewing process and really got into it. He kind of rediscovered it with me. So about once a month we'd come home and we'd brew together, and then all of a sudden it started turning into this could work. Like we could do this in Brown County. Okay. And then all of a sudden this land came up for sale and he's like, son, it's time to do it or not. And bought the land, and now we're living the American dream.
Wow, what a really cool story.
We have the best customers. Our customers are amazing. A lot of our customers drive over 30 miles just to get here, and they support us in a lot of different ways. We have been voted in the top 10 3 times in the last 3 years in the city of Cincinnati in City Beat magazine.
Congratulations.
And that is really a direct result of our customers supporting us, because the only way you get in is you got to get voted in. We do a lot of fundraisers, and our customers really show up. Every year we do a fundraiser for the Brown County Humane Society. That's in the fall, and then in January we do a fundraiser in conjunction with the Jim Young Foundation, and it's a chili cook-off. So yeah, we have great support from our customers.
So we got good food, we got great beer, we have activities. It's all right here, located in Mount Orab, Ohio. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining us today.
Thank you, Reagan. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for spending the day with me at Sons of Toil Brewing in Mount Orab, Ohio. I'm Reagan McKinney with The American Dream. See you next time.
Thank you for watching this episode of The American Dream Selling Cincinnati. I'm Ryan Kiefer, and I've enjoyed hosting you today as our top real estate professionals have shown you all around this great city of ours. Make sure you follow us on social at The American Dream TV, and until next time, cheers to your American dream.